Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slaying Hope, and I got another video for y'all. In this video, we're gonna be discussing another law, 48 laws of power. And this one is law number 26, and it's keep your hands clean. I'm gonna read the judgment. It says, you must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement. Now, this law has two parts. It's a little very intricate, but I'm gonna try to like summarize it and compound it to the point so y'all could get it. So bear with me. And before I even get into it, y'all, if you like my content, I can't stress this enough, because I wouldn't be where I am without y'all. Make sure you give it a thumbs up so it can circulate and other people can see it. Make sure you share it. Make sure you leave a comment and leave me your thoughts so we can have a conversation about it. So anyway, scapegoat, right? So it says scapegoat, right? It says conceal your mistakes, have a scapegoat around you to take the blame. Now, the term scapegoat comes from the Hebrews, right? Because when the children of Israel used to commit sins, and they used to get God's wrath. I'm not saying this as it's fake, but I'm just, some people don't believe, whatever. So when God's wrath used to be descending upon them, what they used to do is they will grab a goat, the priest will hold the goat's head, and they will confess all the sins that they made or that they did, and then they will banish the goat, right? Scape is like a scapegoat, right? So basically, they would look at it like they put in all their sins and their blames on this goat, so that now they was free from sin and from the messed up stuff that they did, and then the goat will have the sins and basically blaming the goat, or putting their sins and their blame on the goat. So anyway, let's just get that out the way. It says, our good name and reputation depends more on what we conceal than what we reveal. Everyone makes mistakes, but those who are truly clever manage to hide them and to make sure someone else is blamed. A convenient scapegoat should always be kept around for such moments. So I'm gonna give you the book example and a hood example. The book example, it was this great general one time. He was on a war expedition, and he made a mistake of having enough supplies of food for the soldiers to eat. So when the soldiers got disgruntled and they felt some type of way that they wasn't really eating that good, and he was, because of his mistake, what he did was he blamed one of his chiefs, and he killed his chief, and he beheaded him, and he showed the soldiers like, look, it was his fault, when it really wasn't his fault. It was the general's fault. So in this is an example of the book that they use as a scapegoat. But let's just take it in everyday life in the hood, not just in the hood. For example, a lawyer doesn't do most of the work. A lawyer has an assistant that does most of the work. The assistant put the cases together, they do the research, they do most of the work, and all that they do after they done doing the work, they hand the folder to the lawyer with the work done, and then the lawyer just maybe skims through it, and then he goes present the case and moves on and do what he does. But in the event, even if that lawyer makes a mistake, he can always blame that assistant. Right? And this is part of being a boss. You have people to blame, right? And that's just like in a career job. Now, let me tell you, in the streets, people have scapegoats in the streets all the time, right? This is why a lot of these OGs, right, they keep young boys around. For example, they got a terminology called the holster. Some of y'all know what the holster is, right? It's usually somebody holding the gun for you, right? So when you need it, sometimes the holsters is usually women, right? When you need it, you use it, then you give it back to the holster. That's a scapegoat. Because when they come, when they blitz, the person that used it don't really have the gun. Or even if you didn't use the gun and they blitz, you don't have the gun on you. So the scapegoat takes the fall, right? A lot of times you hear these older men, right? They saying like, oh, they used to say this shit when I was around, right? Oh, you the little homie. You supposed to hold the gun charge down. If they want to go to jail, they tell kids out here to commit crimes, to do this, to hold the gun, go do this, go do that, and then they be like, oh, you're not gonna get that much time. You're a juvenile. You'll get a youthful offender. Oh, you don't worry about it. They give you probation for that. They'll give me. So these people they stay with scapegoats around. so that could take the rap or could take the blame, right? And this is just part one, right? And then it says folly consists not in committing folly, but in being capable of concealing it. All men make mistakes, but the wise conceal the blunders they have made, while fools make them public. Reputation depends more on what is hidden than on what is seen. If you can't be good, be careful. So again, it's about hiding your mistakes and the shit that you do, right? Part two, it said make use of the cat's paw. It says in the fable, the monkey grabs the cat. Excuse me. In the fable, the monkey grabs the paw of his friend, the cat, and uses it to fish chestnuts out of the fire, thus getting the nuts he craves without hurting himself. Basically, somebody else is doing the dirty work for you. It said, if there is something unpleasant or unpopular that needs to be done, it is far too risky for you to do the work yourself. You need a cat's paw, someone who does the dirty work, who does the dirty, dangerous work for you. The cat paw grabs what you need, hurts whom you need hurt, and keeps people from noticing that you are the one responsible. Let someone else be the executioner or the bearer of bad news, while you bring only joy and glad tidings. Another example, this is same shit that goes on in the hood. A lot of these OGs did time. A lot of them don't want to go back to jail. A lot of them, whatever, they climb up the ladder. They got the status. So they use these soldiers. They use a cat's paw to go do their dirty work. Sometimes you don't even know why they doing it, right? Like, it's 50 Cent said this one time, right? He said, I'm a boss. He said, what I look like getting my hands dirty, right? These OGs ain't bosses, by the way, because a lot of them not putting money in nobody's pocket. They just sending these young boys on dummy missions. But 50 Cent, he said, I'm a boss, right? A boss is somebody who employs people, who can put you in a better position, etc. Let's just not get it confused. He says, I'm a boss. He said, what I look like getting my hands dirty and risking going to jail? He said, nah, I'm going to drop the bag, meaning I'm going to pay somebody. You don't get your hands dirty. That's the whole purpose of this law. Don't get your hands dirty, right? A lot of mob bosses did the same thing. You don't get your hands dirty. You got hitmen. You got people who you can pay. You got people who do your dirty work for you. This happens in the hood all the time, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to risk yourself. And all these things go hand in hand with the scapegoat. I'll give y'all a story, personal story. One time, for example, I remember this dude in my set, so-called OG, he got shot. Or whatever, we came to the hood, whatever, looking for the people who, who did the shooting or whatever. And then one day we happened to see the dude who shot him. We seen the dude who shot him. And so when we seen him, we on that timing. You feel me? Like, you know how it is. When you play the streets, when you see an op, it's time to go. So when we seen him, we on something like, what's up? So we looking at the dude that got shot, right? And we like, yo, we about to go get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We thinking but he's not as amped as we are to go get the dude that shot him. He wasn't as amped as we was. And then he told us, yeah, y'all go ahead and get that and do that. I gotta go. See, in that moment, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? My man's was a hype man. He was just like, oh, yeah, let's go get it. I was like, bro, slow the fuck down, bro. You don't just peep. How you not as amped as we are, and you was the one that got shot? You know what I'm saying? So I peeped the game. Like, in the moment, I didn't really know what this dude was doing, but he was manipulative as fuck. And a lot of these dudes are manipulating our children. I'll tell y'all this all the time. So this dude was using us as a cat's paw, right? Because you could get caught doing this crime. You could get caught. You could get arrested. Mind you, the first time that this situation happened, whatever. You never know if somebody has a gun. You never know. You never know what's gonna be what, right? So even if you might get in a shootout, you could possibly get killed. You could get locked up, go to jail. So you doing the dirty work. You're the cat's paw for this person, for the benefit of this person. So, and this is just one of the laws that, like, I'm not gonna give you the example that they use here, because it's long and lengthy. But basically, it's just about getting people to do your dirty work, whether you're paying them, whether you're manipulating them to do it. It's just about, if you're a boss, you shouldn't be getting your hands dirty, right? Bosses got workers to do the work for them. And when they got problems, you can't be stupid to get your hands dirty and risk going to jail, because now when you in jail, you can't make the money, you can't oversee your business, you can't keep, you can't do shit for your family and for your people. And then it says do everything pleasant yourself, everything unpleasant through third parties. By adopting the first course, you win your favor. By taking the second, you deflect ill will. Important affairs often require reward and punishments. Let only the good come from you and the evil come from others. And that's just basically what it is, man. Shake hands in the daytime, you kiss the babies, you do all of those things, and then you push the buttons when you gotta push the buttons, and don't let nobody see you push the buttons. Just get the work done. Kind of like Ghost on Power, right? Nobody knew the fuck Ghost was doing, but Ghost was the boss. He was getting his hands dirty too, which was because a lot of his workers was fucking up. But the point is, don't get your hands dirty, bro. Don't let that shit come back to you and get your hands dirty. But anyway, the reversal of this law is only if you get caught manipulating people and using them as scapegoats and cat's paws. That shit gonna be your ass. Because when people realize you playing them, a lot of times in the streets, it's gonna cost you your life. So let me know what y'all thoughts are. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all have a good one. Peace.